M. Red. So I give him his bottle. My wife gets out of bed. Cook my wife breakfast while she's getting ready. Someone's diaper is smelly. It leaked all over his belly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to Rad Bad Stay at Home Dad Podcast. You're chilling with your boy Jayson. Oh man, I did my other show. I almost did the nickname. Right. You're chilling with your boy Jayson and my great co-host Chris here.
That's right. And as always, this isn't the view. This is the dad's point of view. Damn it. As you can see, Jayson has 3 kids. I have 2. Together that equals 5. And while the moms are away, we keep our kids alive. And with that, we get questions, frustrations, and funny stories. We're here to share them with you. This is episode 12. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. And at the very end of the show, I got a special little video I want to share with Jayson and everybody else. Jayson, what else you got? Where else are we streaming here? Do your thing.
What up, though? So, welcome to our show, man. You can stream us on all platforms. Not only catch us live on here on Facebook and YouTube, like Chris said, but you can also grab us on all podcast streaming platforms. So, iTunes, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, just about any and everywhere where you do your podcasting at, you can find us there. Also, please go ahead and follow us on all platforms. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Rad Bad Sad. That's also RADBADSAHD. That's how you find us on both of those platforms, as well on Twitter as well. You can follow me on Twitter, Jayson Rad Bad Sad, and then you can follow Chris over there as well, either Rad Bad Sad, which is the overall Twitter, or Chris Heskett on Twitter as well. So you can catch more of our shenanigans and life happenings as we rock out on all platforms with our family. So with that, I am in awe. Give me a second here, man. Damn, dude. I'm a giant Packers fan, and this game sent me into almost a cardiac arrest, my friend. Not only did we knock off the only undefeated team, but that gives us a 7-0 streak right now. You feel what I'm saying? We 7-1, man. We won the last 7 games. So in my mind, we're 7-0 because that first game was still a preseason game. In my mind. I'm completely wrong, but in my mind.
You insensitive jerk. You kept saying 7-7-7. Do you not realize that we are 0-7? And with that loss, our chance of division championship just went right out the door. But I was not rooting for the Packers. I was rooting against Kyler Murray. I was playing against Kyler Murray in a big fantasy league, and so I was pretty happy to see that he kind of shit the bed a little bit. So
you know what? Just to bounce off of that for a hot second, in this certain fantasy league that I'm in, and it's a crazy one. Kyler Murray actually ended up with more points than Aaron Rodgers because I went against Aaron Rodgers. It's crazy because Kyler Murray it's like this is a yardage league. So so the fact that he even threw 2 picks, he had more yards, he ended up having more points than Aaron Rodgers that threw 2 touchdowns.
No, well, while we're on the subject of fantasy football, this last weekend when we were up in Ely, the lake, Sawyer and I were sitting down talking on a Friday, I think, looking at our lineups. Jackie's in the kitchen, and we're just talking football, and I'm adding like at my lineup. He's looking at his, and he goes, Dad, kind of isn't fair. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, you're a stay-at-home dad, so that's your job. You don't really work. And I go to school every day, so you can just like pick players up at noon, and I can't do anything.
Oh, wow.
And so he flat out called me out, and Jackie damn near spit out her wine, and I was laughing. Right. I'm like, dude, you're throwing me under the bus here. You're throwing me under the bus here.
Did he? No, no. That was one of the most major tossed up under a bus I've ever seen. He said, "You practically don't work, so me staying alive
Yeah.
isn't a real thing."
Yeah, I mean, I'm at school now. You just sit at home. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I do. Is I stare at my
Exactly what I do.
phone.
I'm getting people off the waiver wire.
Right. So I actually the league he's in, I actually run it. So I might have to change the settings next year. So it is a blind bid waiver. So you can't just pick up a player at 12:30 while the 9-year-olds are in fourth grade learning multiplication that I forgot how to do. So
You need to be going to tutoring class with him so you can teach him afterwards. You did.
he asked me math questions. What the hell are you asking me for, man? I'm a liberal arts major. I
You better go to Google. You
yeah.
better go to Google.
Oh, he
No.
did that. He did that shit last year or 2 years ago when he's on when they're doing the work from home and distance learning, and he'd be doing math, and all of a sudden I hear, "Do-do-do-do, Siri or Alexa, blah blah blah," and then I hear 4 + 12 = I'm like,
Come on
whatever.
now.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Sawyer though, man. He chimed in. You guys chimed in on my other podcast for my music CTV radio, and he said that I'm a superstar, not a superstar, but I'm famous. I said,
Famous.
oh
We
man,
we were at the we took him to the park. This was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. Beautiful day. They didn't
yep,
have school on Monday. It was conferences, so we took him to the park, and Lil's on his own, on her own, and I'm playing catch with Sawyer, and he took a break, so he wanted to just go on his own thing. So I sat down for a minute, and I just started, checking my fantasy during the day.
right?
Asshole. And and then all of a sudden I looked, and your show was live, and so I just I'll listen to Jay for a minute here. And then all of a sudden he comes over and he's like, "That's Jay." I'm like, "Yeah, that's." And we start listening. He goes, "Dude, he's famous." And and I go, "Watch this. He's got a plug here. He's gonna mention me here." And so
Right.
then you mentioned him, and he got all it was almost like he was asking the girl out to the prom. He got all like red in the face and walked away.
That's instantly on TV in this world, right? He's
All
like,
right.
oh, that's awesome. No, guys, we're here, man. Another week with it. We had some time off. We did some family stuff this past week. That you just heard, Chris said he went up to Eli. Is that how you say it?
Ly Ely.
Ely. Ely. I'm like, oh, that's like what's the one in Wisconsin? Eau Claire.
Okay.
And every time I look at it, sometimes I say Eclair, and everybody know that's a donut.
Right church, wrong pew. It's Ely.
Right. It's Ely, right?
No, it was beautiful, man, and it was my brother-in-law and his family of he has 3 kids. They
Okay.
were supposed to come, but they had a little bug going through their house, so they did not come. And we went up, so it's just our 4 pack, and it was low 50s, mid 40s, but we had fires in the house, fires outside. I built
Yeah.
the sauna for the kiddos on Friday. The sauna was too hot for Lil, so her and Jack bailed early, and so we're taking a sauna, and we're walking down to the lake, and I said, "All right, dude, now this isn't summer. You're gonna jump in the water. Your body's gonna freak out, and you're gonna freak out. So you jump in the water. Don't jump out. Just barely jump off the dock, and I'll grab you, pull out. Don't try and swim. Don't whatever." He goes, "Yeah, I
Right.
know,
Right.
I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing." So I go in and I jump out and I'm singing soprano and I come right back in. And then before I could even come to, I look at him. I'm not even on my feet, and he just launches off the deck like a
Oh.
lab catching the ball. I'm like, this is not gonna
Oh.
end well. So he jumps like 4 feet out, hits the water, and he's screaming, crying, and I'm like, what do I know, dude? So then I pulled him out, and I hurt my knee. I'm like, I don't know how you hurt your knee. So
Right.
he's freaking out, and then so we go to the sauna again. He's like, I'm done swimming.
Yep.
So
Yep. Call
he
it
he,
quits.
he is one and done. I got my 4 in, but it was fun, man. We like I said, we built fires. They got waterfall up there, so we took a little hike and saw the waterfalls, and it was quiet, and there were no rules. There was one day we went into town after the waterfalls and had a late lunch, and we went back and we really didn't plan a dinner. Just told the kid, yeah, just
Right.
snack and just
Snack
relax
away.
and
Yeah.
sleep in or don't sleep in. Because if you don't sleep in, I'm sleeping in, and you can watch your iPad for 2 hours.
That part. This is vacation time. The last few days, no more rules. We're sleeping in. I like
How
that.
was
I like that.
yeah? How was your MEA?
It was long. Main reason being, like you just like you just said, your family caught a bug. Not your family, but your friend's family. our family ended up catching a bug as well. So Margot went down, and if it was one of the older ones, I think we would still move around. We just wouldn't go like to places like a library or bowling or anything like that. We'll keep it outside, a couple parks here or there. But seeing that it was Margot and she was really feeling it, man. Temp blasted out the roof. I think she maxed out about a 103, 104 at one point.
Ooh,
So yeah, that caused us worry. So at that point, we took her to the emergency room, children's, and they went in and looked, and she ended up having one ear infection on her way to two,
ooh.
slight pneumonia, and slight RSV. Is that right? Is that the word? Is that respiratory virus, right? For a child.
Okay.
So with that, so she was real close to having those. She didn't have them, but she was real close to having them. So they gave us a bunch of antibiotics, well, an antibiotic, and kept telling us to feed her ibuprofen, man. And so we'll see when she's doing. Like that's one thing about Margot that I love. Is like you'll see her at one point know that she's off, and then when it like clicks in. Like when that ibuprofen clicks in, she's like, "Daddy, look." Or she's smiling and she's dancing and she's eating and she's running and she's watching TV or whatever she's doing. She's there compared to, kind of like flicking at her ear and whining and moaning and grunting and those type of things. So we
And,
battled that the whole weekend. So that was a long weekend because Hazel wasn't sick. She's like me. We probably get sick once every 2, 3 years. So she was like, can we go somewhere? I'm like, unfortunately, we can't, babe. Like, I can't take Margot out too young. And so I was trying to call on family to help, but although she's not showing signs of being sick, she still might have a bug. So no one's really kind of like, take on that extra help. So yeah, it was a long one. It was a long weekend. Just because
yeah.
they couldn't get out. We are in the house the whole weekend. And then mom had to work. So that was like another thing. So I'm like, oh, okay. All right, buddy. Here we go. So there's a few times that I was able to escape because this past weekend was the weekend of my birthday. So my birthday was on the
Oh yeah.
22nd.
By the way, sorry. Happy belated.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. A
Welcome.
lot of love.
Welcome to 37. It's a
That
good
part.
year. I got
That
about
man.
2 weeks of 37 left.
I'm so close to 40, bro. We so close to 40.
So
I
yeah.
think those are the highlights right there. That's the highlight year.
So is it happy 37? This is your life. Everyone's sick and you're stuck with 3 kids. You can't go anywhere.
Right. So many people are like, "What are you doing? Are you going to throw a party? Are you hanging out? Are you cooking?" I'm like, "No, my children are sick. I'm not going nowhere."
Again, that is a huge advantage for being a stay-at-home, not just a dad, stay-at-home parent.
Yeah.
Is kids are sick. Katie's healthy. She can still go to work. There's no need for you, like we don't lose income from us taking care of
That
our
part. Yep.
kiddos,
Yep.
and
Yep.
they're in our care, and we're not scrambling to find care. We suck it up for 3 days, and you're like, you know what? It's just gonna it's not about me for 72 hours or until everyone gets better. And so that's a huge plus of what we do. That's part of our sacrifice.
Mhm.
Dads call it sacrifices, women's call it being moms, but
Being a mom, right? I'm sacrificing, right? But I had to create a bunch of things, man, and it was hard because everyone wanted something different, right? So having three is tough. Main reason being because one is sick, so you can't do too much when that one wants to hang on to you, and you can't really move around and do a lot because you got to hold on to them and give them their meds and hopefully that kick them back so they can start running around. Then one wants to play and they want a rough house, and then the other wants to do arts and crafts, and I can't get them all to do the same thing because then they're in different age brackets. One requires more help than the other, and it it was a juggling act, at least to say. But in the end, Margot is now doing better.
good to hear.
She's I think out of the 10 days, I think she has to take the antibiotics. We're up to day 7. She's doing a lot better. We've removed ibuprofen, so no more temp, no more ill feelings. We just got to get all the mucus out of her now,
Good
and
to
that's the
hear.
hard part.
Good to hear. And I don't know, Sawyer can't have ibuprofen.
Oh
it
no.
he's allergic to the psyllin, and the ibuprofen gives him it doesn't sit well with him, and so he's kind of when he's gotten a lot better as he's gotten older. But when he was Margot's age, when he was sick, it was not pretty. It was tough because Lily gets sick, she hacks for like 2 weeks, she coughs. Sawyer
Sure,
gets sick,
sure.
and he is just um, burning up, fever. Like we'll all have the same. If we all get the same thing, no one's got fever, but Sawyer is just wiped with the outside of Sawyer. He just gets a fever, and so it
Mm.
is funny you say like you give him the medicine, like and there'd be times he get fever and you get the medicine, and then fever kicks and he peps up and he's running around. I'm trying to tell him take it easy, take it easy. No, I want to go, I want to go, and then the medicine fades out and he's miserable again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, his first time he ever got sick was we flew to Florida. I may have told the story, but we flew to Florida over Thanksgiving. He was 6 months old, and he was doing great in the plane. All of a sudden, he started picking at his ears on the way down. We didn't think anything of it. We never had a sick baby, and we wake up. It's Thanksgiving morning at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's burning up, screaming, screaming. We end up going to the ER at 7 a.m. and double ear infection. So they give him amoxicillin.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So they give him amoxicillin. And so we're in Florida for 4 or 5 days, and it was just a miserable trip for Jack and I because we didn't get any sleep. We got a sick baby. We're on the plane ride home, and before this, I didn't carry an extra shirt in my carry-on luggage.
You
And
learned your
we're the
lesson that round.
oh yeah, and I may wear a badge of honor now, but it took a while for me to stick it on there. I'm on the back. We're in the plane, and give him a bottle, and he's fight. He's starting to feel better, and I'm rocking him. I'm rocking him. And I stand up because he's fussy, and I'm walking around, and he just goes, just projectiles all over me. And you could hear the whole back. You
Oh,
would think the plane was crashing. The whole back of the plane just goes, oh, it just all over me. And bless the flight attendants, they came, they helped, and wish he came and helped too. So then I'm like in a white tank with a like coat over me, smelling like throw up for like
ah,
2 hours home, and then like we get home and like we think he's kicking it, and then all of a sudden he starts getting these rashes and stuff because he's allergic to amoxicillin, and then
mm-hmm.
he started getting diarrhea, and then he got diarrhea.
Damn.
So then his buttocks got raw, and so then he was screaming for that, and like we had to go through a whole new medicine. And I'm not kidding you, it was almost 2 months before he was back, and he still wasn't sleeping through the night. It was like 2 months from just
Jeez.
like a cold that went to an ear infection that was a reaction for the medicine that led to diarrhea. They had to go to another medicine, and it was just so. Welcome to parenting.
That is a way to be welcome into your first bout of parenting. At that point, I'm done. No more, nunca, never. Like this is
Shit, that and he was our first. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So,
right. Exactly. That's the toughest part. You don't know what you're doing.
yeah, so now you're like the third one. Like you're saying, I'll give you some ibuprofen. You'll be fine. Shake it off.
Man, get up, walk
Good.
around. You okay?
Glad to hear she's on the mend though. That's good to
Yeah,
hear.
man. Yeah, so we are moving in the right direction now. We're one thing that they're doing is that they're getting ready for Halloween. So for us, I've always had to drink. So it was always to hold Halloween here at my house. When we bought the house, I was like, this is perfect. We got lights that light up our front porch very well. We got nice rockers out on the front. I want to pass out candy. So this year I get to do it. But they're getting set up to go to walk around the neighborhood, I think. And do some trick or treating, or I think go to a party. One of those two. Either way, I will be at my home ready to pass out candy if any children show up.
Are you gonna dress up as anything?
I don't know yet. Last year I was chef from South Park.
For the children.
But
Oh,
a lot of people got it, some people did, but it was awesome. I enjoyed it.
that's awesome.
Hello,
I'll,
children. That's what I
I'll have to
always
show
walk
you
around.
I can't really do any more Halloween costumes because I don't think I can top one I did like 3 years ago. But I had really really long hair, and it was actually a spur of the moment. I had to have a Mickey Mouse T-shirt, and we're going to some like some community center, sorry, party with the kids, and they're dressed up, and my mother-in-law was with us, and like, are we dressing up? I was like, I got an idea, and so I had Jackie tie really really tight like pigtails in my hair, and I put on my Mickey Mouse shirt. And then I put on a red shorts with black long johns and black gloves, and I looked like either a pedophile or Mickey Mouse. So it was awesome.
You were the Kmart version of Mickey Mouse.
And then we went to dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
I love Halloween,
Ah,
so it'll be fun. But it'll be fun. We're sticking around here, walking around our neighborhood. Sawyer, he totally he played the system. He wanted to be DeAndre Hopkins. He wanted to be DeAndre Hopkins. And so my wife got him a DeAndre Hopkins jersey and the helmet and the pants to go all out. He said, "Oh yeah,
sorry, yeah, yeah.
30 bucks for a Halloween costume. Okay, not a big deal." And Lily is being a teddy bear, which was her dance costume from last year. So we're like, "Sweet, we're out the door for Halloween for 30 bucks this year." Chris was gone for a day, and Jackie took the kids to Target, and the one they called Sawyer found a taco costume. So
Oh, switch up.
now he's gonna be a taco. I'm like, so what about the Andre Hopkins jersey? And you, Jackie turned red. She's like, well, he wanted to be a taco. I said, and I was like, that's like me saying I want a PS5, and when the PS5 comes, I play for a day. I want the
I know.
Xbox.
There you go. I'll take the Xbox. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not.
Speaking of that, I got the family got me an Xbox for my birthday.
Hey, that a boy.
Right. I was actually happy for that.
Good.
I got two sounds playing right now. I don't know how to turn the other one off.
Keep it going. You got yours. That's a great gift. That's
Right?
awesome.
Exactly.
You're an Xbox guy, or not a PS5 a PS guy?
You know what? Okay, so I grew up playing PlayStation. So PlayStation would have been like my go-to because
There was no
those are the
Xbox.
wheels I've started with.
Yep.
Right. But to be honest, man, I guess at this day in the game, or this late in the game, it doesn't matter. So she was inquiring with the family friend, and he was like, "Well, I'm an Xbox person, so if I were to jump off into the game and get it started, this is what I will go with. But this would be a great starter too for anybody jumping in, because I don't think it costs as much to play and run and do things on the Xbox compared to a PlayStation.
Plus, you can't get a PlayStation right now.
Oh, well,
We're,
there you go. I would
we're
have got a 4 anyway. I would hope for a 4 anyway.
for 4. I want to get it for the VR. My buddy's got that, and the kids have done it a couple times, and that's pretty cool. But
Well, catch this in the news. Well, Facebook has just changed their name to Meta, but not only
world
that,
world
they're
peace.
getting right Meta World. I know, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But they changed their name to Meta. But not
Yep.
only that, they got rid of the Oculus. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they're gonna stop. I don't know if they're gonna stop producing them or the name's gonna change, but the Oculus is no longer available. Or so I'm you know what, me saying that now, like out loud, I think that has nothing to do with the VR for PlayStation. But I just thought they ran the same. I thought they were one and the same product. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Couldn't tell you either way.
Either way. But anywho, that's our rant for our father for us portion of the show.
So yeah, so you got an Xbox. What did you
Right.
do on what actual day was your birthday? Friday?
Yeah, the 22nd. Yep.
Was it Friday? Yeah, okay. So what did you do
That's what
on
I'm
your
looking
birthday
for.
besides take care of a sick kid?
Let's see. Let me get into that
Well,
memory bank.
Katie goes to work.
Right. She went to work. Okay, that's what it is. So I woke up to a bunch of hugs and kisses, which was awesome. But it was like you said, it was MA. So
That was from the dog, right?
that dog know not to come near me. Right. And they made her birthday the 19th or the 16th. So I was like, it was funny. I was putting away clothes. So the dog came, it was laying on the bed. Annie was laying on the bed. So I say, all right, just because it's your birthday, I pet her. So I was just petting her and scratching her head. And she's just in heaven, like, oh my God. And I laid down on the bed and she laid all up on my legs. And I'm like, Annie, no. It was just one time for your birthday. That's it. But they woke me up, and from there, Katie went to work way early, so their kids weren't even up yet. But the kids woke me up. They were out of school, so we hung out all day, man. And it was a yes day, basically. In my head, I think they caught on later, because they started asking me for everything, and I was just like, "Yep, go ahead for sure." So it was like almost, yeah. And I think Quinn at the end of the day was like, I love it on your birthday because everything was a yes day today. Like everything was, you said yes to everything. So we had that, but it was kind of cool. A friend at Katie's job recommended a barbecue place. So I love barbecue. Speaking of that, your ribs were phenomenal. Jake saved some.
Oh,
And
you
then
got some, huh?
yeah, so we had some great job, and that's the next day reheated. So amazing job,
Well,
right?
that actually isn't the next day reheated. So I had smoked them on a Thursday. I smoked them on a Thursday, and they sit in the fridge because Friday I was busy, and they went over to
Right.
Jake's on Saturday, and then they were actually in the slow cooker for like, well, most people waited like 3 hours, but I was like 45 minutes before I heard the Heskins voice started diving in.
Right.
But thank you for that. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they were really good. So she found a place. It was called Southern Barbecue in Edina. A friend of hers or a coworker of hers recommended it to us. They said it's a smash. So she went and got it. She came back home with it, and oh my gosh, was it amazing!
Good for you, man.
The best ribs I've had here in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? So far yet is the best ribs I had. I will recommend
Ouch! I'm
that
hurt.
place to
Now
anybody.
I'm hurt. Now I'm
Well,
hurt.
I mean, I mean,
You just complimented me.
I did, and your compliment sticks. I take it right from under your legs.
we're we're big on for us our thing is you at your birthday you pick your dinner. So
Yeah, there you
um
go. So this year, don't mean to cut you. This year
no, you're
was
good.
a little harder, right? Katie kept asking me, "What do I want to do? Where do I want to go? What is this for me?" And I wanted to, I want to ask you this: is it hard for you to celebrate yourself? Because it's hard for me to be like, "Yeah, this is what I want to go do," or "Yeah, this is a gift I want." It's just really hard for me to celebrate myself in that standard. I feel like maybe the closest ones to me should know exactly, not exactly, but like have a hint of what I want or what I want to do or eat on this special day.
37 years old. I'm a man. If there's something I'm a grown man. If there's something I need, I'm gonna get it. It's like you know what I mean. Like something I need in life. If there's something I really want. If it makes sense for the fam, I can buy it myself. I don't like asking people to buy me stuff. Celebrating me, I don't care about celebrating me. I like to use it as an excuse to go do something with people that I love. So
Okay, I like that
for
spirit.
it, but my birthday's coming up. We're going to my favorite restaurant in Minnesota. We're going to my favorite restaurant, and we're gonna have a nice dinner, and it's gonna be fun. And I might that day, depending on the weather, I might take a motorcycle ride or something. It sucks us birthdays in November. It's going to be 35 and
Yeah,
rainy, so can't fish, can't go motorcycle riding. But I don't like to say that I don't care to celebrate me. I like to use my day as an excuse to get people together. But
I
Jackie,
like that.
her and her family they're really big on birthdays. So how about
Right,
you? Are you
Katie's.
good?
I was gonna say Katie's pretty much the same way. For me, I'm the same. When it comes to Christmas, when it comes to gift giving, anything like that, I go if I want it, I'll go get it. That's why I never
Right.
have a Christmas list. It's like I want this. I'm not gonna wait to get it. Although they kind of broke it down, it was like, "Well, I paid for it. We just gotta wait." I'm like, "Well, I wanted it now." Like, you know
My
how many things I've wanted for Christmas in April and I forgot what they were
right.
because I wanted to wait. Instead, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go buy it because I'm not gonna make a list. I'm not gonna hold on to it. And
That her family, Jackie's family, they're big on Christmas gifts and birthday gifts, and Jackie is too. And I'm kind of the guy like I don't want to ask for anybody. I don't want a wish list. I don't want to ask for anything. If you see something, I don't care if it costs $4 or if it costs $75, whatever. you think Chris is gonna like this, and you want to get it for me because you think me cool, because that's kind of like I'll
There
see things
you
like
go.
this guy's gonna like it. Like my father-in-law a couple years ago, he was at some auction and he didn't like it. He didn't want to do it. And you're not gonna like it either. But there was an autographed picture, or there's a Jim Harbaugh picture that was autographed.
Yeah,
And so
man.
he bought it for me, and that was my Christmas present. I'm like, that's awesome because you thought of me and you got something. Now,
Right.
at our age, I think it's like, hey, go pay for this for me.
Go
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
facts, facts.
but like if you see something like, oh, Jay would like this, and I
Mhm.
mean, obviously, if it's like $4,000, no, but like, I don't care if it's $75 or if it's $8. If it's something that somebody likes, that you think someone's gonna like, it's the thought that counts. Like,
It's the thought that counts,
I, I
100%.
I got Jackie something for her birthday coming up. She doesn't know it, and she's not listening, so it's not a big deal. And I can't wait to
I
give
don't
it.
say it, man. We got a couple viewers on here. Don't say what it is.
Retro. We got
We
a couple viewers. We're killing it. Who are
got
these
a couple.
viewers, and
I
where do
don't
they
know.
come from?
They ain't saying nothing. They just sitting there watching us. I see you.
Oh, all right. Well, if Jackie's listening, her birthday present is buried beneath the sandbox.
I got you new rocks for your birthday.
Go dig.
We got garden rocks for your birthday. There it is.
Yeah. So I'm glad you had a good day though. I do think that
Nice.
you do deserve. I think you should be able to call your dinner. That's my thing. A birthday.
Yep. And
Call
you know
my
what?
dinner.
And that's what I think. Katie hit it out the park. So without me really doing it myself or saying what I want, she surprised me with that, and it was a hit. The food was good. The sides were good, like the rice. They had like smoked rice.
Smoked
Um,
rice. Ooh.
yeah, it was
White,
some.
brown,
It was a tint of brown.
cilantro. Nice. I like brown
Yeah,
rice.
man. No, I think it was white rice, but they smoked it and flavored it, and it just looked brown. Is the key. I don't know, man. It was just good. Their call or quote for or name for it was called barbecue rice. And then they had like some dill potato salad, which was actually pretty good. And then their beans, their pork and beans had three different type of meats in it. I think it was like brisket, sausage, like sausage link cut up, and then something else. It was stellar. It was amazing. And then the ribs were just fall off the bone. Literally, you could have almost just shook it off the bone. So mouth
But
is watery. I'm like Pavlov going on right now just talking about it.
hey, so we had a conversation like 3 months ago. I think we had like a little verbal rib off. So what are the? I'm not saying who's better. What are the difference between your ribs and my ribs? And by the way,
Um,
I catered my ribs for the group. That wasn't the way
sure, sure.
I would have done them. I did it for everyone else's liking.
My, to be honest with you, I think you have a smoker though, right?
Correct.
So
And
there's always
I have the old school. Like you got to build the fire, and you got it like especially in the weather I'm in. You got to build the fire. It takes 45 minutes to hour and a half, 2 hours to get up the temp. You got to keep stoking it, and you got to monitor it. And the ribs are I put mine bare 2 hours. They come off, and I see the brown sugar them, foil them, put them back on for 2 hours. They come off, and then sauce on, they're back on for an hour. So mine take about 6, 7 hours, and you're actually working with the smoker. It's not like I would love to have like the Bluetooth ones now. You just hit a
sure,
button and it
sure.
turns
Yep,
on.
yep.
But at the same time, it's like we are men. We make ribs. So I do like that. So, anyways, how do you make yours?
So I do mine a little different because I don't have a smoker. I just have the Weber charcoal grill, and I create a smoker. So
Same different. Yeah.
half, yep, I have half one side where I'm charcoal filled, and then I don't stoke. I just kind of let it slow burn its way all the way through, and then I'll put a reservoir on the other side where I have either the uh not pellets, but the hickory wood kind of in some type of water mixture of some sort. So I'll let that happen, but I will have mine covered for about 2 hours. But what I would do is go back and I have like a mixture that I'll put over the ribs. So it'll be a mixture of either apple juice and seasonings, or apple vinegar, and some seasonings. Either one, whatever I have in the house, and then I'll make sure that I put that mixture over it within those 2 hours, and then after that, I'll let it sit in another hour bare, and then I'll glaze it and let it sit for another hour. So now you get the tacky, sticky feeling with it.
When I'm at the lake, I actually use beer too. So like as I'm like stoking the smoker, I drink a beer, and
Yeah,
so
I used to. It was so good.
I,
Now I put it on my ribs, right? That is exactly right. So I'll use either three of those. So either I'll do the beer with seasoning, or I'll do apple juice seasoning, or just um, apple vinegar, or vinegar apple, whatever you call it, for a seasoning as well.
so do Hazel, Quinn, and Margot like said ribs, or they kind of pick
Oh,
at them, or they?
oh my gosh! You ask Quinn right now, what's your favorite food? She say ribs. Hazel is sushi, then ribs.
Ooh.
I have fancy children, my friend.
Now, does Hazel eat Jake's sushi? I've heard stories
Yes.
of Jake's sushis, and you must be a better brother-in-law because I've never had them.
Well, no. So what
Haven't fit.
happens is the family started it, man. I was welcome into it. So here's what I thought. I've been with Katie for almost 12 years, 11, 12 years now, right?
Yep.
And in that time, I thought that Thanksgiving for their family was brand new. I thought that was just introduced as I came into the family, that they did sushi instead of turkey, right? So Katie's mom and our wife, they were due, instead of a traditional turkey stuffing, all that kind of sides and stuff, the family would get together the day of and make a crap ton of sushi for Thanksgiving.
Mm.
So at that point, I'm like, dang, this is pretty dope. So yeah, I that's how I was walked into it. It's not like Jake made something and brought it to the crib, like, oh, I just made some. Actually, he did not too long ago. He did. It's like, I made extra. Here you go, guys. So but that's that it's tedious, man. It is it's not something that you can do quickly. You
No,
know,
it looks like a lot of work. We
it's a
actually,
lot of work.
so we had, like I said, we were in Ely this past weekend, and so being up there and everything, we are blessed, and my children are spoiled with it. They don't understand it. They don't understand that they are. They
They
don't.
don't understand they got this getaway. That's a whole new. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Correct. They don't get how good they have it. For them, it's just way of way of life. They were born going up there, and they've been going up there since they were still shit in their drawers, so they don't know that it's special and
Yeah,
how
yeah.
lucky we are. And so, anyways, we're up there, and then we went out to lunch after we did the falls, and then they have candy stores and some other cool shops up there. And so we said, yeah, you can go in the town, or we can go in the town, and then after lunch, you guys can go pick out a book or something. The restaurant was slow. And so Jack says, "Why don't you stay here and settle the tab, and I'll take the kids in the town. Take the kids to the stores, knowing that then I'm not going to say they can't have that. Don't buy that."
Yep,
And
yep.
what they were slow, and so the bartender bought me another drink. I'm like, "Well, she's shopping with the kids, and I don't. She doesn't want me there. They don't want me there. I don't want to be there. I'm gonna sit this drink and watch this 9 overtime game between Illinois and
Oh
Penn State.
my gosh,
Oh,
that was
worst football
crazy.
game ever."
That was
But
crazy.
so, anyways, they got spoiled there. They got a couple books and candy at the candy store and a couple toys, and they got a weekend away, and they got um a nice fun dinner. Sorry, I had cheese curds for lunch, whatever.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
so then we get home, and we come home Sunday, and Monday we take it easy. But we have their conferences on Monday. We have Sawyer's conference first. Kid knocks it out of the park.
That's
Teacher
right. That's right.
loves him academically and socially, and she does. I mean, obviously we care about where they're at academically, and if they're behind something, then we'll work at it. But I care more about, like, are they behaving, are they getting along
There
with
you go.
people,
Yeah,
are they
yeah, yeah.
happy, right?
Yep.
And so he's doing really good. I mean, he he has issues with wanting to read things he doesn't want to read, which is like the teacher would just say like, I, he's like she said he has the same teacher this year as last year. And like last year's like I think he's behind testing wise, but I think it's because he looks at something and just goes fills it out and goes so he can go do something else. But like when he sits down and read, he can comprehend it. So he doesn't
He needs to take his time.
right. And
Yeah.
which is very Sawyer because if it's something he doesn't want to do, he just pretends like but
This is the hardest thing ever, or
right.
I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to pay attention.
Right, and so, anyways, he did really good, and she was saying like he does. Sometimes the boys misbehave, and Sawyer he backs out of that, and then like he plays really well, and like he comes up and he asks me questions, and like when I say okay, shout out the answers for math, he shouts them out, and like so
Huh.
he's engaging like okay, sweet, and then like we had like a 15-minute break before Lily's conference, and we're talking like should we go out? Should we take them out to dinner? Because like when I grew up, you did well, you got rewarded for it because you're supposed to do it. We're like, I don't know. We spent money at the restaurant and they got spoiled the weekend. Yeah, we probably shouldn't do it. Let's not. Let's serve them some humble pie here.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Then we get Lily's conference, and her teacher is she's academically she's doing very good academically, but then you get to the social aspect, and she's so respectful, not just to me, but to all the students in the class. And like when I assign groups, some kids don't want to be with this person. And Lily's like, "Oh, we're all in the same group. Let's do it together." And she's
Aw.
helping with other people, and like I'm like, "Yep, yep."
I love that.
Right, and then as a parent, both of us, Jackie, are really happy, but, as a stay-at-home parent, I'm like, "Yes," because like, that was my life for years,
That's
like,
exactly what I was
doing that.
aiming for. Right.
Right, I was like, "So we're going out," and then we're gonna go out to downtown Victoria, but the restaurants are closed on Monday, so we went out to Kona Grill, and, Sawyer ordered some sushi with his meal, and we had some fine sushi, that's how I got there, but,
Oh, that's
Sushi
awesome.
was sushi was delicious for us, and I was proud of Sawyer for actually ordering sushi and not his traditional pizza. But
Oh, see, opening up that palette. Hey, I do want to say I got a friend in the building. Tanil showed up, man. Hello, hello, hello. That's a good friend of mine. Her name is the Missus when she's doing her thing on Peachy Tea Time. If you ever catch me, sometimes I go on her platform and assist with her. She does some great awareness, like things that are happening in the community that aren't being highlighted or shown across the country. So like people passing away, being kidnapped, or different egregious acts of other people. She's bringing awareness to what's going on and allows open dialogue. It's called Peachy Tea Time. Awesome platform. We appreciate you stopping by. What up, though? I do have a question before we get out of here because we're wrapping up here in about 2-3 minutes, right?
yep,
And we may go over a little bit because this does require a little bit of dialogue to it, right?
that's true.
So you said, and it can't, and it stems from what you were saying when, not necessarily saying that your children are spoiled, but they've
I,
been given things that like are just embedded in your lifestyle that others don't necessarily get to partake in. Ely being one of them, right? That's extracurricular. That's extra. That is something that like you said, like it's just not given to everybody. Everybody don't have the opportunity to go to a cabin or go do something like that. So my question, or yeah, somewhat of a question, is this: how do you explain the extras that you give or get to your children to like let them know like this isn't the norm, although it's normal to you, but this isn't the norm? Have you ever had to like have that conversation, whether it's from like gift giving, going to Ely, going on boat rides, or anything like that?
For yeah, it it's like I said, it's tough because they don't get it because um, I've told the story where we would go to Florida when they were young, and the flights weren't fun, and even there wasn't fun, and we would drive to Ely and they would scream in the car and we'd be up all night and it wasn't fun. We made a decision, Jack and I made a decision early on saying, this is parents live in Florida. There's a lake home up in Ely. We're doing this. like sooner or later we're going to encounter these issues. So let's just do it now, and then they'll get used to it. But
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
they don't they don't understand how fortunate that we are and how lucky that we are. And because I didn't grow up with that. Like
Facts.
um our family vacation was the pool we had in the backyard, and one time we went to the UP. So like my, I'm serious. I'm not knocking my parents at all because
No,
my
no,
mom
not at all. I mean, you had 5 kids, bro. Like
six,
six. That's right.
and my mom stayed at home, and so we our we had basketball hoop and baseball bats and gloves and pool, and so like there was no cabin, there was no boat, there was none of that. Like we didn't grow up with that, and my kids don't get. There you go. A little,
Yep, yep, yep.
yep, good little shout out to your friend there. And so I've talked with my sister-in-law about this because she's the same boat as me. She grew up on a dairy farm, and so I think I can't take that away from them because that's part
Right.
of family for them. And I don't care if it was if grandma and grandpa lived in Ohio, we would go to Ohio for those occasions. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean?
For
Like
sure, for sure.
because it's about family, just the location's the bonus. So I take it that's why I am very strict about like manners, and like I can take things away from you, and I try and humble them. And like we're at Kona Grill the other day, and Sawyer said Lily ordered her drink, and Sawyer said, "Can I have a Coke?" And the waitress started walking away, and Jackie goes, "What comes after that?" He's
Mm,
like, "Please, can I have a Coke,
I
please?"
love
And
it.
so it's
Yep,
like,
yep, yep.
so it's um, we need to teach them to be respectful human beings and to work hard in school. Like that's I can't. I don't know. Like I don't know how to. I mean, we're we're so fortunate and we're so blessed. They don't get
Sure.
that. They don't get that now, and either they're gonna be spoiled little shits in 10 years, or they're gonna look, or they're gonna look back and say, "Oh my goodness,
Right, right, right.
we're so we're so blessed and fortunate to have this." And so it's like my job, it's our job to teach them like to be respectful people and to look, and they'll. I hope that they realize how fortunate we are.
Yeah, yeah. It was funny that not funny. It was for me, I didn't think about it when I was growing up. So I grew up in Detroit. I mean, we both did. You Redford, right?
I was born in Warren, lived in Warren for a few years, and I was in Madison Heights. The
Madison.
Heights.
Okay.
I was in the Heights for
Heights.
Madison Heights for what 6 7 years. I mean we moved out. I was 13 years old. So
Sure, sure.
yeah, but I
Um,
remember it was um. But you don't know otherwise growing up, right?
right,
So
right. But here's the
I was
thing.
I was by the way I was happy. I loved my childhood. I
Right, right. You would have known no difference, right? So
correct.
I grew up Detroit, and but my one of my grandparents had a cabin in like the west part of Michigan, and it was this place called Sandy Pines, and we would go almost every summer. So it was like a retreat for my parents because they get to send ship us off for
Right.
a good quarter of the summer, right? So, in my eyes, I never looked at that being as like something extra. I just knew I had to go away. Sometimes I wanted to, and sometimes I didn't. I knew I was leaving my friends, but I was also going to go hang out with my cousins, right? Because that's where all the family was. So we learned valuable things out there. I didn't learn until earlier in adulthood that was an extra. There's a lot of children and a lot of people that don't ever get to have something like that, right? So I
Eh,
was talking to my sister, and she was like, "Well, what are you guys about to do?" And I'm not saying it in a huffy puffy way, but I kind of was. I was like, "Oh man, we about to go hang out on the boat with our buddies and just what I'm saying, drive around or ride around on St. Croix." And she was like, "Wow."
Right.
And she kind of caught the tone, and she's like, "I can't believe you, Jay. Like you're doing stuff like that. No one, like some people will never get to do.
Right.
You need to really make sure that you understand and tell your children that like these are things that people will never see. So they have to be able to humble themselves to say that they're like this is fun and it's not something of the regular. So the reason why I came up with that question because it made or that it's in this conversation because it made me think about how I explain that to my daughters. Because
Doesn't
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No.
Finish.
Well, the reason because how I explain it to my daughters because every Christmas, every birthday, I make sure that there's a moment where I stop and tell them like you got to be grateful and thankful for all the things that you're getting because there's some kids and some children around here and they may be they may be in your classroom that can never get anything like this. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of make that well known for them. So it's not like it's always just a gimme type thing.
I mean, I tell my kids when we talk about one time Sawyer bits about flying Sun Country over Delta, and I looked at him. Did, did I not tell you the story? I thought I told you this one.
No, wait. He said, I can't do it, Pops. I'm not flying Sun Country.
I thought I told you this. You think Sawyer's gonna fly with the fucking peasants? No, I'm just kidding. So this is a couple years ago, and I so I when it's a holiday, so it's Christmas one year, Thanksgiving the next because we switch. And then 4th of July, if it's a holiday, we're treated by my father-in-law, mother-in-law. They treat us down. But any other time, spring break, whatever, we pay for it, right? And so we found this. I think it was 3 years ago. We found a great deal. Jack found a great deal on Sun Country to fly us down for spring break, and because Country messed up, and they did not charge us for the kids because they thought there's like a loophole. They thought they were babies,
Right.
so like, oh my gosh, we can go there for X amount of dollars. Like that's a steal. We can afford this. We can go. We'll go stay with you. We'll go stay at your parents' house and have a week down there. And the kids come home from school, or Sawyer comes home from school. Levels is in school yet. And hey guys, for spring break, we're going to Florida. Blah blah blah. And they're like, okay, cool. And then he's like, yeah, we got a good cut. We're gonna fly. We fly this time. Blah blah. We're gonna go Sun Country. And Sawyer goes, Sun Country. He's like, and we're like, dude, and I'm like about to blow a gasket. I'm like, dude, I was on a plane 3 times in my life before I was 22. So
Before I was 22, fam, for real.
yeah, so you know what, your cute little mohawk there.
My
Let's.
man said,
I'm about to
I
shave it.
can't believe you,
Oh,
mama.
so then I don't want to go. Don't want to go. And I'm just like, you little no, you did no, and like, and I was fuming at him, and we're going back and forth. So then we go. Then we go. We get there. It's an hour and a half delay.
Oh, my man's probably sitting there with
and,
the look like,
and then we're walking on the plane, and like he's looking. He's like, "Yeah, there's no screens on here like Delta." And I'm just like, I'm like, dude, you're sitting on a chair, like you're literally defying like gravity. And you're going from 40 degrees to 80 degrees in 3.5 hours. So shut up. And then we get in the plane, and like people are going back and forth, and then he goes on the plane. He goes, I hate Sun Country. I only fly Delta. And I'm like, you did not realize, like, I wasn't 26 until I realized that when you went to the airport, there were different airlines.
it was different.
I just thought you went to the airline and got an airport and got an airplane, and so it. That's what so I say we spoiled them in Ely. I mean, yes. I mean, it depends on which spectrum you're looking at it. Like we didn't go all nuts with them, but like they were staying.
Sure.
We were staying at the lake home, and we went to a restaurant, and then they got some stuff. So my mind, that's being spoiled because I didn't grow up
Yeah.
with that. My dad worked when I was a kid. My dad worked at Taco Bell, and we'd go visit dad, and we'd have Taco Bell, or once a month we go to a place. You ever hear this feeding house?
Oh,
It was a place in I want to say Royal Oak, but we'd go to a buffet, but we weren't going to restaurants, and we weren't going to
we went,
cabins and stuff.
we went to
And
Ponderosa.
you're right.
That was our fact. Ponderosa
Right.
and Gibraltar Center.
Right, and so we're very fortunate, and you as well. I mean, I'm not. I would say that the house you're living in now is probably nicer than the house you grew up in, and
Man,
your kids don't know otherwise, right?
bruh. Actually, you know what? Hazel does. Because she's just
Okay.
been old enough to see it. I was able to go. We go to Detroit every now and again. My mom still lives there, so I'm able to show her every now and again where I lived when we go back there. So she's seen the house. My house now is 3 times the size of the house I lived in.
Right.
Literally, square footage wise, is 3 times the size of it. You know what I'm saying? Or two, I would say two and a half, two and a half. I ain't trying to say I live in a mansion. I live in a ranch style home in the middle of the suburbs. I ain't doing that
It's nice.
well.
It's a nice home.
It's
It's
a
a
nice
nice
home.
home, a nice area. Like uh, but you kind of like I don't know. Your initial question is just, I guess we're blessed and we're fortunate. My job is to
Right,
teach my
right,
kids to be good people, and it doesn't, hey, you're going to lose in life. Like this isn't, you, you don't just get what you want whenever. So you need to be a good person. And you need to work hard in school.
right, right,
And
right.
so
I
no, I
I,
mean,
I agree
first,
with you.
every time I go to Ely, I step out and the first thing I do is go, take
There
a
you
deep
go.
breath. I look at the lake. Every time I go to Florida, after I make sure the kids are settled and say hi to my mother-in-law and father-in-law, I go out, look on the deck, and just admire the view. And I don't ever take it for granted.
Yeah,
We're
for real, for real.
so that's that.
Well, great, great feedback, man. Great feedback. I like that just because it shows the difference in how we are raising our family and our children. It's still similar. It's just a different path, and that's the best part because we just want at the end of the day. My goal is to raise good people,
Correct.
respectable, good people, and so far I see that from an 8-year old, a 4-year old, and almost 2-year old. Literally, my 2-year old. If I give her an orange, she says thank you. My 1-year old, or almost 2-year old. If I say, "What do you say?" She says thank you. Right? She knows the pleasantries that you're supposed to do when you're asking and receiving things at the age of 2. A 4-year old reluctantly wants to do it, but she knows to do it anywho. 8-year old also the same thing, and I think when we instill that in them this young, they don't lose it when they get older. They'll start checking the people that they hang around, or just not hanging around those people and continue to do it and building the people, like building up the environment that they want around them. So
But
good job to
that's
both of us.
well. Thank you. But that's why I was like so happy about their conferences, and
Sure.
they're saying these things, and I'm like, you're talking about Lily, like Lily
my,
Heskett. You
my
got
child.
there are a couple other Lilies in your class, like, but that's why you probably saw the post. I said they're great in school, like, and they save all the assholeness for here,
For here, for when they come home,
which
they
is
got to.
fine.
They
Which is
got to.
mean they have. That's what they say, right? They have if they behave in school, but they don't. They have issues or they latch out at home. It's because they feel safe at home and they can do it.
Yeah, that's
Versus,
right.
so grateful for that, and yeah, man, our
That's
our
it.
job, right? Is to serve them the humble
Yeah,
pie, and I mean, good for us, good for them.
that's it.
Lil actually said today. Sorry, one more thing. Lily actually said today. She was coming out of the bathroom, and Jack and I were talking about something. She just opens the door and she goes, "You guys weren't talking about Daddy going to work and getting a job, were you? Because Dad not going to work."
You can't leave me now. That's not the case.
We're like, first off, that was way off the conversation. And second, I'm like, I could work. I could be.
Tell him,
I
get
could
out of
get.
my conversation. Quit ear hustling. That's what you need to do.
I could get a job.
You can
Jeez,
get a yeah. I can work if I want to.
jeez, Louise.
No,
So
so with that,
those,
guys.
yes. So those, Jason's gonna send us out of here. If you're still watching, we're gonna watch make Jason watch a video that I made, which was actually a movie, and I made it. Geez, so I was 4, Lil was 2. It was the end of summer, right before Lil or Sawyer went to kindergarten. we're out of things to do, and so we wrote a script and we actually made a movie. Jason, I wanted you to see this.
Yes,
So
I'm
if
so
you want, do you
excited.
want to send us off now, or do you want to watch it then send us off?
Look, man, we're gonna watch this,
That's
and then
fine.
I'll send you guys off. So,
I'm embarrassing the hell out of myself, by the way.
no problem. So here's the thing, guys. If you are tuning in on any of our broadcasting for podcasting, please go ahead and check us out on the Rad Bad Stay at Home Dads podcast on Facebook. And this is where you'll be able to catch this feed. This one here is called Time to Feed the Beast by Chris Heskett. Let's get into it, man. Here we
All
go.
right. I'm going to watch you, not the.
Oops, hold on. Wrong page. Here we go.
There you go. Killer graphics, by the way. Working?
The Silly Lawyer Chronicles.
I'm coloring Minecraft blocks.
What is that?
I don't know. Needles. Needles just keep coloring.
Baby. What's that?
I don't know, but it sounds scary.
Daddy! What's happening?
Dad, who did this?
Oreo.
Dad, did this do it?
No, not the Oreo cookie. The beast. Oreo.
Oh, the cat Oreo?
I think Daddy died.
Lily, I know what we have to do.
Get a glass of milk.
It's time to save that.
Let's do this.
I'm busy. Reaping justice as the kids of the world.
You silly, why are you doing it?
Lily to the axle machine.
Nobody messes over that, but only us.
Let's bring him back so we can wrestle him.
Daddy, don't worry, we're little baby. Fix this off the time machine.
Brace yourselves. Time for the machine.
This is it.
Silly lawyers. What are you two doing here?
Nobody would. I think I know what caused this.
The beast needs to eat. Oreo! Come here, Tiny Cat! Oreo!
It's the beast this thing.
The beast gets dangerous when it goes
hungry.
Thanks, silly lawyers.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's converging.
You missed it. The silly lawyers were here.
Big whoop, Daddy.
Okay, guys. I'll see you later.
Louie, what? The silly, I don't know what the silly lawyers did. Maybe they rescued Daddy, and they went back in time and transformed back.
Yeah, we did.
You mean they did?
Wow.
What? I forgot what I said.
Good day.
Oh yeah, saving the day. And
Yeah, we did, but actually they did. Yeah, actually we did, but actually
Lily.
we did, but I mean they did. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Can we nominate this for? Can we
Best original
nominate this?
Best original screenplay.
Can we nominate this for? Oh man, what up, Alex? If you're still in the building, what up, though? Wow, wow. The most ultimate best part for me was when they said, "Let's go get to the what was it called? The
Axle Machine, which was not
the
in the script.
axle machine."
That was improv by Sawyer.
So they run and get in the axle machine, and then in the midst of them driving, a quick clip. I don't know if anybody else saw it. A quick clip of the axle machine flipping up the steps.
Told you, state of the art graphics, man.
Oh my god, that was the
That's so bad,
best.
so bad.
No, you see, you set a whole new gold standard to stay-at-home fathers. I promise to you, deep in my soul, I am going to create one of these.
Good for you. Well, there's
I'm going to.
there. So I told him, somebody actually texted me that, and he said, "How much do you miss your?" I think he's watching live. He said, "How much do you miss your kids when they were that young?" I was like, "Dude, don't tell me, tell the show."
Man.
So I do miss that because that was literally like 2-3 weeks before Sawyer went to kindergarten, and then like we were talking like, what did Daddy do before he went to work? And I showed him when I was in college some videos I edited. Well, so I was like, "Hey, you guys want to make a movie?" And they're like, "Yeah." So we did, and like we had all these ideas. So I had like 8 of them that we were gonna do. That's why it says
Sure.
the Silly Lawyers Chronicles. And then Sawyer's like, "I don't want to do it." I'm like, "We're like halfway done." You can see like this one line he said where he's like, "Have it." I'm like, "I'm not gonna make you do it. You said you
That
want."
part. You wanted
Anyways,
to do it. Yeah.
we were bored. Like I was think of where you were at in August and where I was at in August this year. At that
Sure.
point in the summer, we were out of things to do. So it was fun.
Man.
It was cheesy as all hell, but
Again, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear this, or if you're hearing this on the podcast of Rad Bad Stay at Home Dad podcast, please go over to the Facebook group, Rad Bad Stay at Home Dads podcast, so you can watch the full 7-minute video. This is amazing, brother.
You won't get the 7 minutes back in your life.
You don't need it back because that was pure genius, man. I loved it.
There are 2 other ones, but I won't paint anyone else with seeing them.
I might request those for intros for the next couple shows coming up. I don't know.
Okay.
But thank you again, man. Today was a great show, man. That was a great way to end this one. Guys, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit the like button. So if you're in the building right now, hit the like button for us. Hit the share button. Let people know what we're doing here. We're going to end up doing this as much as possible, as much as our family allows us to, because we're just so tied up with them, but also getting more repetition with it. Now, I need you to go over to Twitter as well as TikTok and follow us there. Again, it is Rad Bad Sad. It looks just like this below us. All right, take a second. You see it, you read it, hit screenshot. So don't forget it. I mean, don't hit my mug in the screenshot, you know. Let me get it. Okay, there you go. All right.
Gotta make sure I'm pointing to the crotchal region. They gotta get out of the
way. Make sure you hit us up, man, for sure, on all of those platforms. We are here. Alex, I appreciate you sharing it. One thing that you need to do again is follow us on all platforms. We are streaming on all those platforms, which is any podcast area out there. Lastly, I need you to be your absolute best, man, because being empowered starts today. We live life, we love unconditionally, and we seek growth. When we do all 3, we are in our alpha state. So stay primal and get after it. Always remember, man, protect your peace and drink water. Chris, you got anything for us?
Happy November, everybody.
Your birthday come. When is the actual birthday day?
The 10th.
So make sure you guys say happy birthday to Chris on the 10th.
Don't do that.
Right?
Don't do
Blow
that.
Up his.
I was saying happy November because now it's like it's cold and it sucks. All right, but we got Thanksgiving coming up. Okay, cool. Then we got Christmas, sweet, and then New Year's. All right, and then the weather sucks for like 3 months. So cool. But happy November.
Happy November.
We had a beautiful October. Best October I can remember.
Because last year it snowed.
The 20th, there was a blizzard. Yep.
Anyway, man, we're out of here. Listen to a little bit of Stay at Home Dad by John LaJohn. I'm a stay at home dad.